So, quick little update of my build here. I just want to go over it. I guess I'll go over these guys here. Okay. Let's mute what I have in the background here. Okay. So, I think I kind of found the perfect sweet spot to this build. And this is to reiterate the Zizaran build that was posted on YouTube. Basically, what he came up with was excellent. The concept of using blood mist, corpse explosion, regenerating corpse explosion, and what basically, so I reiterated it, and my reiteration is I'm still using blood mist to pop my corpse explosion, and it is dealing a large portion of my damage. However, it's even more intuitive. Why? Because if you look at what I've done here, so I went decompose here. This is literally just for gauge, and I do have an item that gives me some more corpses when I'm using it. So if I kill an item, enemy, whatever, it's not really that big. Okay, let me just go over the points. Decompose, one here, for essence, for slow. Okay, so typically Ziz went for 3 here. I changed it and went for 3 here for more essence because it increases the high end of the bone spirit damage, and also gives me more refill when I do the build that I've created. So we go down here, 3 in the corpse explosion, 1 here, same as Zizaran's build. And then we're gonna go 3 here for essence. I want more essence for every consumption of a corpse. This essence will be used on bone spirit after I use blood mist to recycle one another. And this damage is much higher than anything Ziz had in his build because of bone spirit and the synergy between bone spirit, blood mist, consuming your corpses or essence so you can use bone spirit. Okay, to top it off, we use Iron Maiden with this. This gives me more essence while I spam it on mobs at no cost. So as many mobs as I hit, I regain my essence back. Once again, regaining our essence back. Whatever it takes to get our essence back for bone spirit to be at max. This thing hits for 12k. I have a clip of it. Okay, that's min-max to level 25. We can only imagine what min-max to level 100 could be with this bone spirit recycling build. Okay, going down here. So I have 5 and then I have 2 from items. So 5 in bone spirit. If it critically strikes, it reduces the cooldown by 6 seconds. This is very important. Critical strike increased by 10%. Also very important. I'm running crit on my items. This here, your bone skills have a 0.5% increase. Critical strike stands for each 10 essence you have upon cast. This is big because when I'm casting it at max essence, which is 121. Okay, so it's pretty significant to the crit chance. Plus the 10%, plus my base crit chance, which I believe my base crit chance is like, I looked recently, but 17% right now. Okay. So 17% plus 10%, 27 plus whatever this gives. Now this one. Every 100 essence you spend reduces the cooldown of your bone skills by 0.5 seconds. So because we're using our max essence, often when we're using bone spirit, it's once again reducing the cooldown of bone spirit. Therefore, usually bone spirit and blood mist are about the same cooldown when I'm cracking it. So this build, and as you can see here, I do have both my skellies, but I don't typically, or what was the one skill I took off? I took off Decompose. So I'm not actually using Decompose anymore, and I probably could take off, I guess the item that I have here, this here, because I'm not using it, but, actually wait, which one was it? Is it that one? Oh no, that's the correct one. Never mind, I'm crazy. Okay, so, yeah. When I initially made this build, I didn't have this item because I couldn't find it and I wanted to make the blood mist build like everybody else. And then because I ended up finding it after I created the Bone Spirit build. I reiterated the Bone Spirit build, adding consuming a corpse generates 9 essence. And as you can see when I'm running the dungeon here, which I'll do shortly. As you see when I'm running the dungeon here, I will Bone Spirit, Blood Mist. It'll regenerate my essence pretty much instantly, and then we can go again. And it's the damage that the Bone Spirit does that makes it incredible. Not to mention that you can be immune to damage when you're recycling it by eating the corpses for your essence. So here we go. And also don't forget that this Iron Maiden, even though it increases my damage, it's also also giving me essence in return. Okay. Go. And I have one of the Book of the Dead traits on my skellies. So they are naturally producing corpses. I think it's a 15% chance that they create corpses on their attack with their scythe. Which is pretty significant. You can see here. And the main course of the damage is actually the Bone Spear. It's the -- 1 skill. Okay? Even though you're getting a lot out of corpse explosion, it doesn't matter what skill I want to use when I want to use it. It's all gonna kill them. And all the shields I have built through my items and regeneration, I essentially I can't die really. But the big damage, as I said, look, 4K, and that's just a small crit. I've hit much higher than that, and I do have some clips of it to show that it can really pop off if you get like an overpower combined with a crit. Wait, basic skills grant 20% reduction. Oh, damage. I don't care about that. Well, I think that sums up most of it. Let me show you the Book of the Dead. Reaper, it's a 15% chance to carve off flesh of the enemies, forming a corpse. Skeletal mages, overpower damage is increased by 30%. You could also use this, and I actually, you know what, now thinking about it, vulnerable enemies is probably better because, yeah, either that or actually, this one's also good because, actually, you know what, this is really good. Increases your maximum essence by 15. I never thought about it until now, so there you go. You can add to the build. The more essence we have in this build, the more our max damage is, because the way Bone Spirit works is damage increased by 3% for each point of essence spent casting Bone Spirit. So therefore, adding 15 essence is 3 times that 3 times 15, so 45% more damage. Okay, there you go, 6K. Look at that. Corpse explode. Okay. And now you can just corpse explode to get your gauge back too, or you can do it this way. It's up to you. You have a choice. You know, this is why I play it this way. This is why I took decompose off the bar, because it's no longer needed in the build. Right? We just recycle, reduce, reuse with the build like this. I think it's beautiful. Great iteration of what Zizaran came up with. Obviously, it requires a little bit more items to make it all work. But in the end, I think Bone Spirit and this combined is going to be endgame play. for sure. So, something to look forward to. Also, to note the items that I have, you can see here. I think that's important. Cooldown reduction, stats, maximum essence. Heal when you're close to the enemy. The best roll, best in slot. Then here, bone damage on armor, which is, I think, not a common roll, so I took it, even though it's 4.2, because it works with my build. Skeletal warriors, obviously, because they reap and they make more corpses. And then here, distant enemies have 50% chance to be stunned for 2 seconds when they hit you. Deal 46% increased damage to stunned enemies. Cool thing about this is it synergizes with this. Enemies afflicted by your Iron Maiden have a 20% chance to be stunned for 1 second when they deal direct damage. These two inherently work together, and then I also deal 46% increased damage to a stunned enemy. So if they get stunned, I deal more damage. These two here get a big boost. Once again, damaging an enemy elite gives you a barrier absorbing 315 damage. This can only happen so often. Now I have... Or I did have. I probably don't. I had an item where I dealt more damage when I had a barrier. I think I could probably apply it to this. However, this is good too. When skeletons gain increased damage while alive, up to 40% after 10 seconds. Then here, this is a very important one this took me. This is probably one of the best items I got. 9% movement speed, max roll, +1 rank corpse skills, +1 rank macabre. Macabre is the bone. This is this, and then another cool thing about macabre and how it works is this. This here applies is a corpse and a macabre. Okay, so this corpse and macabre means it applies to both. So it's getting +2. I am giving +2 to this from one item. Okay, so that's really important that the way that works is they're the same. The macabre is corpse as well. That actually works for both. That means this is huge. Now, the skill that's imprinted on it, skills deal up to 41% increased damage based on your available primary resource when cast, receiving the maximum benefit while you have full primary resource. Once again, going back to essence, going back to bone spirit, and the application of which bone spirit works, which means that the maximum, it deals the maximum amount of damage. I think similar to a surge in Lost Ark, his damage is increased by 3% for each bone point of essence. So this special ability synergizes with this as well as the main core ability of it. Blood Mist triggers corpse explosion on surrounding corpses. When Blood Mist detonates a corpse, it cooldown reduced by 9 seconds. So this basically makes this go off cooldown instantly, and then regenerate this, which has crazy damage and gets my max damage out of it, so I can constantly recycle one another. Last but not least, and this is a great one as well, critical strikes with bone skills increase your essence regeneration by 26% for 4 seconds. So, because I'm running a crit build on Bone Spirit, every time I crit, I regenerate my essence very quickly. That, in essence, is the full build. Everything. Blood Mist, Bone Spirit, Corpse Explosion, and Iron Maiden. These two are just there for synergies, and I guess to make sure that is went over. Golem is each time your golem takes up to 20% maximum life damage, it sheds a corpse. Very simple. Better than any of these two. 100%, because we want more corpses here. I think this is great. I like the essence more than I like This could also be very good vulnerable enemies because they are vulnerable a lot when I'm attacking, so it could be tested. See, this might actually be more damage. Run it now and see. And then bone is, or sorry, this one, skeletal warrior is reaper, has 20% carve off flesh of the enemies forming a corpse. And these are called reapers. Guys are reapers. Okay, perfect.